There are few functions that is left in measures that we will discuss, and there are few questions that is what I wanted to discuss. So those things we will discuss. Maybe like if we will not be able to finish today, tomorrow we'll be able to finish all the like the classes for calculated columns, measures, all the functions and everything. So then from day after tomorrow, we will have visualization. Uh, so basically from next week, right? Today is Thursday, I think, I believe. So this week, all the calculated columns, measures, everything will be finished. And then from next week onwards, we will work on the visualization part. Okay. So
Okay.
now, today, let me quickly show you guys these questions and then we can discuss those. Sorry. So let me show, these are the few questions. These are the 2, 3 questions that I wanted to discuss. The first one is create a calculated column in the customer lookup table named customer priority, and what exactly the condition you have to apply. It says if the customer is a parent and has annual income greater than 100,000, then customer priority is equal to priority. Otherwise, customer priority is equal to standard. So I want you guys to tell me like where to go, what to write, and all those. Let's do it. So you guys understood the question, right? What we need to do is we need to create a calculated column in customer lookup table named customer priority, and the condition would be these. So first tell me where to go and what to do, like how to create those calculated column. Anyone?
We go to the customer lookups.
We will go to the customer lookups. Okay. Why we are going to customer lookup? Because in the question itself, they have mentioned that we need to create calculated column in customer lookup table, right?
Yeah.
Now what we will do in customer lookup table?
Okay.
So
I
in the
think we're gonna see
question,
the data view.
okay, let me go to the data view. I'm in customer lookup. Okay.
So it says it's a new column, yeah.
New measure.
What did you say, Shahnaz?
We need to write the DAX function for creating a new column. So
Mm-hmm. So then,
mm,
I think we click on the lookup, like
new
left lookup, and we say add column.
okay. Yeah. Shahnaz, you told new measure. Measure is required to create
sorry for
measures.
call.
Yeah, columns. So I will right click on the customer lookup and then I'll click on new column. Okay. And then the formula bar will open.
Okay.
And now what exactly we need to write here?
It's if.
Okay. Before if, what, like how is the
Name
uh,
of the table column name they have given in the question to
yes. So first we will write name of the column, right? That is the
custom
syntax of any DAX formula. So we have to write customer priority
customer
because
priority
that is what they have given, right? Customer
equals
priority equals to. Okay, so in the create a calculated column in the customer lookup table named customer priority. So that's why we have named it as customer priority is equal to, now these are the condition. What is the condition? First condition.
the first condition is if annual income is greater than if if the customer priority is priority, in otherwise it is standard.
Can you come again? Can you tell the first condition again?
Uh, if the annual income of the customer is greater than $100, then the customer priority is the result need to be priority. Otherwise, it has to be standard.
You are
If
missing
it is
one condition here. They are saying
parent,
if the customer is a
If
parent
yeah,
and.
parent, yes, parent.
So there are two conditions that needs to be true. If the customer
Okay.
is parent and annual income is greater than 100K, then customer priority is equal to
Is
priority.
priority.
Else it is standard.
else standard.
Yeah. So which function I need to apply here?
If yeah.
Yes. So there is a function called if, right? Open bracket. Now what I need to write, you can look at the top and see what they are giving, right? So if what what two condition they told? They told that we need to look into if the customer is parent and the annual income is greater than 100K.
Yeah.
So the first condition would be if customer is parent. From where do we identify they are parent or not? So if you
Because the
scroll,
full name.
no. So from full name, how we will identify that they are parent?
Oh, okay.
From the parent column,
Yes. Yes, from the parent column, we will identify that the customer is parent or not, right?
oh yeah,
So what we will do if
parent,
parent parent column. So parent
column,
meaning like this. If
yeah,
customer lookup parent
is
is
equals to
equal to
yes.
yes. So
Yes,
always write yes or no. Any text field, always write it in bracket,
brackets.
inverted commas, not bracket, inverted comma, right? So
No,
that's what we have done here. Double quotes, double quotes, yes,
yes,
like this. Okay, yes, and then there is second condition, right? So that's what we need to mention. And what was the second condition? Annual income is
it was
greater than
greater than
100K.
$100. Yeah, 100K.
So there is a column known as annual income. We will write annual income. So there is a column in this table saying annual income. Okay. So if and annual income is greater than
Greater than.
100K, then so this is condition logical test. The
Logical.
first two conditions that we provided is the logical test. It will be tested if that is true or not. Then comma. You can see then after logical test there is comma. So that's why we wrote comma. And then we have result if true. If these two conditions are true, then what you need to write? Then we
The,
need to write
it is
Yes.
priority. Hence,
it is priority. Correct.
Privacy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we will write priority. And then again, comma, because you see here, once you write result if true, if the logical test is true, then write comma and then write whichever is the true result. Then again, comma, you can see the syntax here. Then again, comma, and then you have to write result if false. So if it is false, then what will be the result? It is standard. And then after writing a standard, there is a bracket closing. Then you have to close a bracket. It's easy, right? Because you don't
Yeah.
need to remember any syntax or anything. You need to know
yes,
that in this case, like what what was required to solve this question? Only one thing was required, that you need to know how to create a calculated column and what are conditions that you need to apply. So this condition will be applied using if function. If you know that, then you can write the DAX function. Why? Because as soon as you write that function and open the parenthesis, they will show you like what exactly will be the argument, like what exactly how you have to write the formula. And then you just have to follow that the first would be logical test, then you have to write comma. Like you don't need to remember the syntax, it will automatically be remembered. Like as soon as, like as much as you do practice, you will be able to remember that. But till the time you don't remember, like you are not able to remember everything, you can look at the formula syntax at the top while writing, and then write in the same manner, right? So that's why, like, we wrote the first is logical test, then there is a comma, then the first then the second argument will be result if true, then again comma, then result if false, and then closing parenthesis. That's the syntax, right? Hit Once you write the entire formula, hit enter. So as soon as you hit enter, that means you are committing it. Committing meaning you are saying that this formula is correct. Now apply that. So you see here how many, you can see what all values are there in a particular column by clicking on the arrow. So you see there are two uh, values that has been created under customer priority and standard, right? Let me select only priority, then we will see if this is created correctly or not. So our condition was if parent is yes. So you can see under parent column, it's yes. And then the second condition is annual income is greater than 100,000, right? So see, annual income is 110,000, right? So that means both the conditions are getting satisfied, and hence the customer priority is priority, right? So that means the tagging that we have created is correct, correctly applied, right? Then we will look into standard, one more example, if this is correct or not, right? If parent is yes and annual income is greater than 100,000. So you see here annual income is only 60,000, right? That means both these conditions are not true. Hence, we get standard, right? To get priority, you need to have both the conditions satisfying. Even if one condition satisfies in this case, which means parent is yes, but the annual income was not greater than 100,000, hence the tagging is as standard. Okay, so that means it is, the tagging has been done correctly. And now I will clear all the filters. That means like all the rows are available in this table and we are good with this formula. Any questions? You understood like how did we do?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Becca, any question?
No, it's clear.
Okay. Now what we will do, there is second question. Let me go here. Create a calculated column in the customer lookup table named income level. Okay. And the conditions are if annual income is greater than 150K, then very high. If annual income is greater than equal to 100K, then high. If annual income is greater than equal to 50K, then average. Otherwise, income level is low. So where do I need to go first? First step.
Mm. Again, we need to go to customer lookup table,
Mhm.
and then we need to add a column with the name income level. That new column, we need to hit new column, and we
Mhm.
need to write a formula with the name index name income level equals to, and then we need to write the conditions.
Okay, so till the time, yeah, let's do that. You are right. So
Yeah.
where are we? We are in the customer lookup table. I will create a new column, and then the name of this column would be income level.
Income level equals to,
Now what
and
condition we need to write?
the condition we need,
If
there are three
Yeah, we will write if, that is correct, Becca, and we have three conditions, that is also correct, Shahnaz. So
Yes.
what all conditions do we have?
They
would
are
have like
asking
3 ifs and 1 else.
Yes, that is right. And what is the first if?
the first if annual income is greater than or equals to 1,50,000, the result need to be very high.
Okay, so I have written if bracket open. What I need to write here? I need to write logical test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what will be the logical test? So the
Eight
yeah, first condition was if annual income is
annual income.
greater than equal to 150K. So
Yes,
yeah, so what exactly I need to write here?
You're gonna write like annual income.
Yes, if annual income. So as soon as
AWS
you
system.
write annual income, as soon as
I
you
will
write annual, it will highlight like where is annual income available in the table, right? So you just need to press tab, it will take it automatically here, right? So what we need to write, if annual income is greater than equal to how much?
15,000.
150,
One
yeah,
five.
150,000. Okay. After this, what I need to do? What what will be the syntax?
use comma.
Yes, comma,
Double
quotes, double
double quotes. Yeah, very
double
high.
quote, and then we have to write very high. Very good. Very high. Okay. After this, what I need to write?
Again, we need to write if condition.
Before if condition, what we need to write? After very high, check the syntax at the top. After result, if true, what do we need to write?
We need to write result false.
Before result, if false,
Will
what do we need to write?
comma
Yes, we need to first write comma. If you don't write
comma.
comma, let me write if, it will give me error. You see there is some error and red color,
Yeah.
right? That means the
Yes.
syntax is
Yes.
not correct, right?
Yeah.
So now I need to write comma. After comma, what I need to write?
Uh.
If
If, correct. Again, we need to write if. Why? Because we have three ifs in the
Yes.
question, right? So this is nested if. We call this as nested if, like
Nested if.
multiple ifs inside each other, right? So again, we will write if. What is the logical test? The
The
second
same
condition,
this is
the
it
same
the same
annual income.
annual income.
yes, annual income
Again, is greater than or equal to.
is greater than or equal to
I think it
100K,
is 100. Yeah, 100K.
100K. After that,
Comma comma.
comma,
Double
it is,
quotes high.
yeah, it was high.
High.
Okay. After
And
this,
then again comma.
comma,
Again if
again we will write if, because we have four
three
conditions
is
in total: very
yeah
high, high, average, and low. So
low.
low will be in the else condition, like the final condition, and before that we will need to write one more if, right? So that's why we are writing
Yeah.
if, bracket open. Again we will write annual income, annual income. The third condition was greater than equal to 50,000. Okay,
Yes.
50,000. Then
Average is
average, correct. Average. After this,
uh, it's gonna be else.
before else, like after
comma.
result if comma, and then if all
Else.
these conditions are not true, we don't need to write else. That is the way we call it. But after comma, what do we need to write? Result if false. So we will directly write low, meaning if all these three conditions are not true, then it will give me low. Okay. And then after this, what do we need to write? We need to close the bracket.
Close the bracket.
How many brackets we need to close? As soon as you close the bracket, it will show you, it will highlight that for which particular expression we are closing the bracket. So if you see, I have closed one bracket and this one is highlighted. If you see here, see my cursor, right? This one is highlighted. Then you need to again close the bracket. Why? Because there is one more bracket that we opened, right? And then we need to close again the bracket, then the third bracket is opened. So all the brackets are opened now, closed now, which we open, and now we are good with the formula. We will hit enter, right? So how we do it is, if you are opening any bracket, you need to close that bracket, right? And we can't close it here in the middle, because the if condition will continue. Why? Because what we are trying to say is, if the first condition is, like first is the uh, logical test, then result if true. If result is not true, then you check again the second if. Then if this logical test is true, then give me high. If this is again not true, then check the third condition, which is if annual income is greater than 50K, then average. If it's not greater than 50K, then you have to write low. And then you have to close all the brackets that we opened. So we opened 3 brackets, and as soon as you close each of the bracket, it will get highlighted. So 3 brackets are closed, and then we will hit enter. So this is the formula that we wrote, and you can check here in after clicking on the arrow. These are the 4 values that has been created under income level that we created, right? We created very high, high, average, low. We can check any one of these if this is correct or not. So what we are saying, we are checking average. So the income should be greater than equal to 50,000, then we will call it as average, right? So see, annual income is 60,000, right? So that's why it's average. It is tagged as average. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So we are done with these 2 questions. The third, there is one more question, last question we will cover, and then we'll discuss other functions today. Uh, so then there is something called a switch function that we discussed. Again, switch is similar to the if function, nested if, that we created. So instead of nested if, we can use switch also. So one formula we will write using switch, so that like you understand like how to write switch function also. So what we need to write here, it's written, use a switch function to create another column named education category. We can do this entire exercise using if condition as well. Excuse me. So we can do this entire question using if condition as well, but let's try this out using switch function. Okay, so let me go here. What exactly is the question? It's saying create another column named education category, right? So let's, in the same table, we will create education category. It's not mentioned specifically, but the everything is in this column on this table only, all the fields. So we will create it here in the same table. What would be the name of the column? It's mentioned in the question, right?
Education.
Education
Education
category,
category
right? So we will
Yes.
write education category here is
Equals
equal
to
to what
switch.
was, yeah. So now we need to, instead of if, we will write switch,
Switch.
right? So we will write switch. Switch will work in a similar way as
With
if works.
if
So here what we need to write, instead of logical test, what they are asking to write expression. Expression
expression
is
validation.
equivalent, yeah, expression is equivalent to logical test, right? So what happens, like logical test, in logical test we write like greater than, less than, all those. So, and in switch we write just expression. Expression meaning which particular column you need to pick. So here what all we have if education level is high school or partial high school, then education category is high school.
Hi.
Okay. So what we will do, we will write education level, right? This one is education level if education level is high school. So under expression, the column name would be education. As soon as you write education, there is one column with having name education level. So we will put this education level, right? We don't have to write greater than, less than, equal to, anything over here, because we are not writing logical test. In logical functions, logical test only, we have greater than, less than, equal to, and all those, right? Here we are writing just expression, meaning we will just write customer lookup education level, and then we will put comma, and then under value and result one we will write all the conditions that is out there. So what condition? If education level is now high school or partial school, then category is high school. So what we will write here, under value we will write high school. What does it mean? It means that if education level, if this column is high school, because we are saying if expression is basically column name and value is basically under that column what value you need to look into. If under this column that value is available, then what should be the result? Result should be high school. So you will write high school, right? Is it clear till now?
Yeah.
Then again you have to write value 2. That means you don't need to repeat this education level every time, as we do in the if condition, right? In the nested if we write logical test multiple times, but in switch you have to write the column name only once, and then after column name comma you just need to keep on writing value result, value result, value result. That means if in that particular column you have value as high school, result will be high school. If under education level column value is what was the second condition, partial high school, if the value is partial high school, comma, then value 2 you have written, after that you have written comma, then result 2. Meaning if the value is inside the education level is partial high school, then what uh, category, like what result you want from there? You want high school. You want that to tag it as high school, right? Again, comma. You need to write value 3. So value 3 is the third condition. If education level is bachelor's, right? If bachelor's or partial college education, category is undergrad. So you will look into the third value, which is bachelor's, comma, then it is undergrad. Value 4, if the value under education level is partial college, then education category is undergrad. So we will write partial college. Then result is undergrad.
Undergrad.
And then you have to write value 5, result 5. Meaning, what is the last condition? If education level is graduate degree, then category is education category is graduate. So value is graduate degree. Then you have to write result, and whichever you will write, no, that will highlight it. That means now you have to write result. See, result is little bit highlighted over here. So what result you have to give? Graduate. And then after this, you don't have any more conditions. That means you are done with the function. You need to, after this, you need to close the bracket, right? So close the parenthesis, hit enter. So under education category, if you see, you will have graduate, high school, undergrad. And that's what we have created, right? High school, we have created high school, undergrad, and then graduate. 3 different unique values that we created, and that's how we have done this. So here, instead of writing the same logical test every time, that if education level is equal to high school or education level is equal to partial high school, then you have to write high school. Instead of that, we just wrote it once, the column name, and then we just wrote value result, value result, value result. So it's like, in case of multiple ifs, here we had like how many? Under, we had 3 ifs, and under each ifs we had 2 conditions, right? So we have done it using switch. We could have done it using if also, and that will also work. So what I would recommend is, when you guys do it, I will send these questions. When you guys do it, try to do it using if function and see like if you are able to do it or not. I'll not talk like how to do it through if, and let me know if you get stuck. We will discuss then. Is that fine?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so try this question using if function at your end, and then tell me, like, let me know if you are stuck. So these were the 3 questions that I wanted to discuss. And so we are done with this if function. Now I will talk about, there are, if you see my this one, functions, how many functions are left and all those, I think it is downwards. So you see there are 4 functions that is remaining in total, that is used frequently, and using these functions, not related, related is also used, but this one of these functions, calculate, is most important functions in Power BI dashboard. Using calculate, you can write a simple query as well as complex query. In many complex dashboard, people use this calculate function. So if you guys know all these 4 functions, then you will be able to create little bit complex dashboard as well. So I will discuss these 4 functions today as well as tomorrow, and then we will be done with, like, we will be covering almost like 90% of the functions that are commonly used, and that is important, right? Maybe like few functions we will be leaving, and that is like very rarely used, so don't worry about that. But practice all these, and then it will be easier to create a dashboard. Okay, so let's start with this related function. What is it all about and where do we use it? So the related function is how does, like, how it helps us is, related function returns values in each row of a table based on relationship from other tables. So you will not understand the way I told, so let me actually create one and show you. In the model view, if you see, we have sales table, right? And this sales table is connected with multiple lookups table. If you see, right, all these lookups tables are connected to sales table. Now, if we use related function here, what happens? We can pull any column from lookup table and have it in sales table. Right now, each of these tables are separately, right? Sales table is separate, customer lookup, calendar lookup, territory lookup, product lookup, everything is separate. But let's say from the product lookup, I want to pull product price, like I want to have product price in sales column. So we can do that using related function. Okay, so you can pull any of the column from these lookups table into the sales table using related function. Let me show you that, how to do that. We will go to the sales table. Okay. And again, one thing before I do, since we practiced right now calculated column so that you guys don't get confused, this related, right? These are used on any of the field. Like it should not be only numerical or category or text function. You can pull any of the column, whether it's text or whether it's numerical. You can pull any of the column from other table to a different table, right? So right now what we are trying to do is we are trying to pull product price from product lookup table to sales table, right? So what we will do, we will create a new column. Why we are creating a new column and not a new measure? Because we want that as a column in this table. We are not creating any measure that will be used in calculation, that will be changing by use of the filters. We want the table to present in this, we want that column to be present in this table. As the product price column is present in product lookup table, I want the same column to be present in the sales table. In that case, what we can do is we can create a new column and write a function called as related. So I will create new column, write related function. So I'll give this name as retail price. Let's say retail price is equal to related. Now, as soon as you write related and open parenthesis, you will see there is one argument that they will ask you to pass in, which is the column name. So you want to pass which column? Returns a related value from another table. So basically, this should be the column name which you want to have in this table, sales table. So I want to have product price column in this table, right? So I will write product price. So what it will do, from the product lookup table, the column product price will be pulled in this sales table, because the function of related is related returns the related values in each row of a table based on relationship. Since product lookup table and sales tables are related, in the modeling view I showed you, right? Both are related, both has a relationship. We can pull any column from any table into another using related function. I will close the parenthesis, hit enter. What you will see that the retail price is pulled here, right? Now let me actually sort this. So basically, if you see what we are seeing here, product key 214 has retail price 34.99 that we pulled in from there, right? Let me go under product lookup and see if product 214 has the same product price or not. Okay. So product 214, and let's check the product price. It's 34.99. We are right now in product lookup table, and we are checking if the value that has been pulled is correct or not. And you see here for the product key 214, you have a value of 34.99, right? So that is what has been pulled here in sales table. If you see product key 214 has 34.99. You can actually format this also. As soon as you click on the column, a column tools will open at the top and you can format it. Since this is a retail price, I will make it as from format here. That was the data, right? From format you can make it dollar US. So that is done, right? So that is how related function work. Is there any question till now?
No.
Okay. But there, Shanaz, are you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is how we can create, like use related function. But there is a drawback with this function. What is the drawback? The drawback is using related function. What are we trying to do? We are pulling a column from other table to this table, which means relate under retail, under sales table. If you see, these values are repeating, right? Because we have product key 214 multiple times. Why? Because this is a sales table. The sale of the product would have happened, might be n number of times, right? On on 3rd of April also it happened, on 8th of August also it happened. So that's why 214 is repeating multiple times, and that's why this 34.99 is also repeating multiple times. That is one. Another, it is creating redundant calculated column, right? Because we have the same information in product lookup table and we are pulling the same information in sales table. So this is creating redundant column, right? And this will increase the file size, your dashboard size, the Power BI dashboard that we are creating, this report, it will increase the file size, right? Because we had discussed earlier also, if you are creating a calculated column, it is existing in the table, right? It is getting stored, the data is getting stored and it is appearing in the table, and hence the file size will increase. So it's always better to not use this related function, like it is not recommended. But if it's very necessary, if it's required for your purpose, then use it. But it's recommended to not use related function like this. I will talk about this later on when we will discuss other functions like filters. We have this filters, right? And other iterated functions are also there. Then we will discuss, we can use this related function inside another function, right? Instead of using only related function like this, we, because this is like creating redundant data and increasing file size, the related function is useful function, and it's better always to use it within another function, right? And not use as is like the way we have used, but you can use it if it's required and if it's necessary. Okay. So now, since we have created the retail price, what I want to do is, let's create a revenue calculated column named revenue, in which we will use this retail price. So I am creating a revenue calculated column in which what I am want to do, I want to actually pull retail price and multiply it with order quantity. Okay. Hit enter. Okay, so what happened here? What we tried to do, we created a revenue column in which we multiplied retail price with order quantity, right? So that is how we created revenue. What does revenue mean? Like how much total you actually generated by selling each of these products. So wherever there is, let's say, 2 quantities sold, under revenue field, it is like instead of 8, it's 17. Why? Because what we have done is we have multiplied these two columns. So how it will work, for each row there will be multiplication that will be happening and the value will be stored in the revenue column. So here it will be retail price multiplied by order quantity and the value is stored in the revenue field. That means on selling this particular product, we are earning $17.28, right? So that is how we have used related function. Using related function, we pulled one of the column from other table, and then basis on this retail price and order quantity, we created a column known as revenue, right? I will talk about this related function more tomorrow to show like how we can use this related function within another function, which is filter and other functions, right? But till now, is it clear whatever we have done?
Yes,
Yes, it's
ma'am.
clear.
Okay, good. So now, uh, for now, related function, we are done with the related function, and we can discuss little bit about the calculate function, which is one of the most important function that is out there. This calculate function, this is widely used, and this will help you create very complex DAX function also, and the similar like very simple DAX function also, right? So just give me one moment, I will start it. Okay, so calculate function, you can let me create one value, one formula, and then we can discuss. Okay, so under again, for creating calculate function, this takes expression and then we have to write few filters. So that's why whenever you will use calculate function, you have to create a measure. Calculate function is used wherever there is aggregation functions and all those. So you will have to write measure to use calculate function. Like you can't create calculated column using calculate, you have to create a measure using calculate function. So that's why I'm going into measure table and creating new measure, and I will write, let's say for now I'm writing a formula. I will talk about this later, but bulk order is equal to, now I will write calculate. So what does it do? An open parenthesis. So if you see, as soon as I open calculate open parenthesis, there is something called expression, and then we have filter 1, filter 2, likewise, right? So what does it do? Calculate evaluates any given expression, or you can write formula also, under a set of defined filters, right? So these filters will be applied on the table, whatever filter you will mention here. those filters will be applied on the table, and then this expression will be evaluated and the value will be stored in this measure, bulk order in this case, right? So let's say I want to create bulk order, and under expression I will write total orders. Okay. So we have total orders. Under total orders we had created yesterday, right? Count, distinct, order number or so, something like that, right? So whatever it is, don't worry about that. But the first argument is expression. So I have mentioned total orders. After expression, you have to write comma, right? So I have pressed comma, and then you have to write filter 1. So what filter I want to apply? Let's say I want to apply order quantity greater than 1. Okay. So what it will do, it will go to the sales table, look into the order quantity column, and see wherever order quantity is greater than 1, right? It will give me total orders only for those rows, and it will be assigned into bulk order. Okay, so let me hit enter, and if I go here and pull bulk order, let me actually clear all these because this will create a lot of confusion. I will start from scratch. So we have category name here. Let me pull order quantity, sorry, total orders, and then bulk order that we have created just now, right? So what does it telling me? It is telling me that accessories, there are 13,370 total number of rows in which bulk order happened, which means in which the order quantity was greater than 1, right? Because what condition we applied here? We told that tell me total orders wherever the order quantity is greater than 1. So it is saying that out of 16,983 total orders that we had, 13,370 orders are such that in which more than one quantity was ordered. So that's why, like, we have named it as bulk order, but that is how you can use calculate, in which you will have, you can have, like, we had total orders, right? But I wanted to filter this total order column based on some condition. So this is one of the condition that we have applied, which is order quantity greater than 1. Similarly, if you see for clothing, there was total orders that happened was 6,976, out of which there were 3,414 such orders in which the order quantity was ordered greater than 1, right? So let me show you here so that you guys understand, right? So under sales table, right? Under sales table, if you see, we have order quantity, right here, and sales table we have order number. Okay, we have order number and we have order quantity. So what we are saying, we are saying that there are few orders that is happening with order quantity 1, and few orders that is happening with order quantity 2, and few orders that is happening with order quantity 3. Let me actually pull 2. Then what will happen? There are multiple orders, if you see, in which the quantity ordered is more than 1. So in the same order, multiple times that happens, right? In the same order, you orders multiple items. So that is what is this. multiple quantity has been ordered. So that the condition that we have applied under bulk order is under calculate function. If your order quantity is greater than 1, tell me the total orders. So that is how it is giving me 13,370. So out of total orders, these many orders were such that the order quantity was greater than 1. And if you see for bikes, the row is blank. Nothing is ordered in which order quantity is greater than 1, which makes sense. Like, why would somebody order 2 bikes in one go, right? In one order, nobody will order more than 1 bike, right? So this number makes sense. If there is no value here, that is also fine, because that makes sense. Like, nobody will order multiple bikes in one order, but one person can order multiple clothes in one order and multiple accessories in one order, right? So that's how we have created bulk order column using calculate function. We will discuss this calculate function again tomorrow with more examples so that it's clear for you guys, like how does it work. Okay, but for today, is it slightly, you guys understood like what we are trying to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I do have the idea.
Okay, so tomorrow what we will do, because I don't want to cover a lot, because I have a lot of things for these 3-4 functions. These are very important. I will show you how calculate function works and what happens exactly, and then we will discuss few more examples for this function, because this is one of the important function that is out there, right? So for today we will wrap today's session, because from now onwards it will be more complex. So I want to start from scratch tomorrow, fresh start, and then we will discuss all these. I will try to cover these 3-4 functions tomorrow, so that we will be done with the all the functions, the DAX functions, calculated column and measures, and then from next week onwards, we will directly start the visualization part. Okay, so related we have covered mostly. Now related we will use inside filter function or the iterator function. And then we have to cover tomorrow calculate function, and then these two functions, all and filter. Inside filter we will again talk about the related one. And few iterated functions are also there, like sum x, max, min x, all those. So similar to sum, you have sum x. Similar to average, we have average x. There is a average x functions also that exist. So I will talk a little bit about that also. I will try to wrap it up tomorrow. Let's see. If not, then we will have like slight bit remaining thing on Monday also, but let's see like if we will be able to finish it tomorrow. Okay. For today, we are good. Let's connect tomorrow then. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Yep.
Bye.